Welcome back to Henry's Garage. We no longer have a coolant leak. Yay! But it's a bit embarrassing, and you'll see why. In a previous episode, we discovered that I have a leak in the matrix. Well, we think it's the matrix, but we have a leak, coolant leak somewhere in here, somewhere probably in the heater unit. So we're going to look at taking out this dash again, see if we can get the heater unit out and have a look at it. Okay, the dashboard's out, so I've got better access. The first thing I'm actually going to do is I haven't emptied yet the coolant, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this up because I want to see if it's leaking from here. In fact, it shouldn't be. So by here I mean these pipes. Okay, I don't think it will be, because the water was coming out along here, and I think from here it would struggle, you know, to leak that way rather than from here is unlikely. So I don't think they're likely to have leaked from here. I think the weak point here would have been there. So I suspect it's more likely that it's leaking from in here somewhere. Is that what I want to do? Or do I want to just assume that's the case? I mean, it's all kind of, who cares if they've got heating anyway in an old car? I'm not going to drive it in the winter. Oh. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be leaking here. I mean, I know these are pretty horrible looking, but let's check. Okay, so I've added fluid, hopefully just enough to get it leaking, and we can see it's coming from here. Ah, so it is. So it looks like it's coming from here, in fact. Now then, so is that actually coming from the pipe, though? I just thought this would be all the bit that got wet. Okay, so this is me underneath the dash down the passenger footwell, but that looks like it is leaking from the top of that pipe, which has surprised me. So I don't know if there's a crack around there, or if it's that the old hose is so rubbish, or something else. But we're going to start by trying to take that off and see if we can fix that. Okay, I didn't take it off, I just tightened it, and it seemed to stop leaking. It was fairly loose, and I didn't have good access when I had all the dash in. Or it might have just run out of fluid because I didn't put much in. So I'm going to fill it up again, and then we'll have a look. Okay, I didn't fill it, but I put in enough to hopefully get it overflowing again. You can see that was full, and so all of that's gone in, and not much of it's leaked out. So that was in the two bits. So that looks like we might have it in. Cool. I mean, very irritating that I didn't get it tight enough from underneath, and that was the issue. But cool that I don't have to take the rest of it apart. So, next thing is I need to get a helicoil into at least one of the threads for the inlet. That means I don't want to fill up the coolant all the way, because that's just going to cause me a problem. So we're going to deal with that, but leave all of the dash out so that when we do fill it up completely, we'll see if it's leaking. I was doing a lovely job of draining it slowly, and then I went and pulled the hose too far and got myself soaked amongst everything else. So let's clear that up. Okay, so the inlet manifold has been off. I've installed a helicoil and everything's back up. Filled up the cooling system. You can see the fluid there. And it's staying there. It doesn't appear, I mean, apart from the spills I made when filling it, I haven't seen any leaks yet. So the leak from here has gone. The leaks that we were previously getting around here have gone. So I'm gonna walk away from this now. It's quite full. You can see the overflow is also quite full. There you go. So I am going to walk away from this for an hour and just leave it to see if it stays roughly there. I hope so. It's been about 2 hours. I'm coming in to see what this water looks like. Yay! That's me looking happy. So, good. So, it looks like I sorted out the coolant. I'm not going to put the dash back in just yet. Because my screws for it are all rusty, I've actually just ordered some from Toolstation, which I think will fit. So we'll be using those to put it back on. And so I shall just tidy away stuff now and come back out to this tomorrow. I'm not sure what I need to do a tap for these as well. I'm not sure what size they are, to be honest. And I did notice that I've got I think this is a 3/8 16 set, which looks like it might be the right size. Thanks. Not sure. Yeah, that could well be the right size. So I might be able to tap that out without having to order any, which should be good. Although I don't know how I'm going to possibly get at it from underneath, but we'll see. Because I think it is just the one underneath, or there's one somewhere which was needs doing. Okay, good. So I'm going to tidy up and come back out tomorrow. It's 48 hours since I was celebrating, and I just came out to have a look and do some work, and that's gone down a bit. And so I was having a look around and trying to find leaks. And you can see a bit here under the joint, so I don't know if it's dripped into then rolled over. You can see a bit just on here. And you can see a bit of bits down in there. So I thought, oh, that doesn't look like much. Then I rolled this out of the way, and this was just under the car, and you can see all of that coolant in there. So this was sitting, oh, in fact I just saw a drip. So it's leaking from somewhere around there. I don't know what that's going to be leaking from. So we're going to have a look at that. Sorry. So this is the bottom of the radiator. And I think we can see in here, just here, that it's got fluid in there. And actually if we come along to the other side, it's even clearer. Now, it's dry along the outside, so I think the only way it's leaking in there is if the radiator itself is leaking, which I just had paid £300 for that to be fixed. but I think that's what that must be. I'm going to give my father a call and have a chat with him about it, see if he gives me a different explanation. So I'm really annoyed actually that that radiator appears to be leaking. I'm going to check it is first by clearing up the fluid down there, drying it out at the bottom, filling it up and walking away for another 24 hours and seeing what it looks like afterwards. That is probably going to mean that I don't get anything more than I've already done out on a video this week. So that'll be frustrating, so I might not bother to put one out at all. And I'm away next week again, so I might not be doing one then either. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's do this and come back to it. I gave it 2 hours. We can see it's leaking. Radiator's been out. I went along to where I bought it from, or got it repaired. Fixed it. Well, did we fix it? We'll talk about that in a sec. And brought it back. And it seems to be holding. It's been like this for a couple of hours now. So, good. So, I think we now have a cooling system that is not leaking. Excellent. Okay, let me tell you, I am quite embarrassed, but you know, for the sake of full disclosure, completeness, I whipped that radiator out. I mean, huge mess on the floor underneath because of it, because I did it quickly, because I needed to get it to the guy that had done it for me before he shut at 3 o'clock. So got it out, made a mess, got it down there, and we tested it. And he showed me, we did a pressure test, and there was no leak on there. The embarrassing thing was, as I was driving down, I was thinking, you know what? There wasn't much water, there wasn't much coolant on that ground for it to have been leaking from the bottom. And I was thinking, I wonder if it was actually leaking from that top pipe and if I hadn't done it up tight enough. And that is embarrassing. Okay, that 2 hoses I hadn't tightened properly. Now, the one under the dash, I will give myself a let on that because actually it was so hard to get at. I should have, you know, done things in a different order. So I can understand why I didn't get that tight enough. But this one, no excuse. And embarrassing. But the good news is it's done. And I'm confident that's not leaking now. And so I can move on to the next bits, which I will do in the next episode. So thanks for watching. Do come back next time, and yeah. Okay,